Police investigating a former high school principal. The district claims he changed some students' academic records. Now at 3, Winnie Dorch joining us live. So Winnie, when did this investigation begin?
Well, Chardon Local School started investigating former high school principal Douglas Murray last month. This comes after the superintendent received a complaint.
Of course, the investigation may take a little bit of time, but we want to get it right.
Chardon police investigating former high school principal Douglas Murray. The district confirms Murray changed grades for 2 students without permission. This led to him resigning on February 9th. At the time, his resignation letter stated he walked away from his duties due to personal matters.
It's a sensitive case. It involves juveniles and students and student records. So there's some sensitivity to that. There's also some federal regulations in regards to how records are handled. And
the district started the investigation last month after there was a complaint filed with the superintendent. It was later determined Murray violated Board of Education policy, district procedure, and the educator licensure code.
We're doing our due diligence here. We're gathering the facts.
Murray served as a principal for more than a decade. The district put out a statement 3 days after his resignation calling him an effective principal. But as it stands now, the district is reviewing the affected students' grades to ensure they reflect the students' actual performance. And to make sure something like this doesn't happen again, the district is implementing a software monitoring system that alerts school district personnel of any data changes.
And we'll find out the veracity of what was done or what wasn't done, and we'll react to the facts.
And no charges have been filed just yet. However, the district says there seems to be no other evidence that any other student was affected but the 2 mentioned in my story. They also filed a report with the Ohio Department of Education. I'm live in Chardon. Winnie Dorch, 19 News.